please come on in, find your seats. We're getting started in, count it, 15 seconds. That was really fun hearing the harmony coming from over here in this corner. Good morning, everyone. Let's try that again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you. My name is Crystal White. My pronouns are she and her, and I welcome you to the Ethical Society of St. Louis. We are an ethical humanist congregation, a community where people come together to explore big questions, live with intention, and work toward a more just and compassionate world. I am overjoyed that you are here for Service Sunday, which is my favorite day of the year. We're gonna have an abbreviated platform experience so we can spend most of our morning volunteering side by side, embodying our fall theme, the power of us, the idea that positive change happens through human effort. Every kit that we pack, every card we write, every act of care today helps build a kinder, more connected world. And as we begin, please take the moment to silence your devices so we can stay fully present with one another. And please welcome our core values reader, Lola Compton.
Every person is important and unique. Every person deserves to be treated fairly and kindly. I can learn from everyone. I'm a part of this earth, I cherish it and all the life upon it. I'm a member of the world community, which depends on the cooperation of all people for peace and justice. I learn from the world around me by using my senses, mind, and feelings. I can learn from the past to build for the future. I am free to question. I am free to choose what I believe. I accept responsibility for my choices and actions, and I strive to live my values.
Thank you, Lola. These values remind us that everyone here, no matter their age, helps make this community what it is. Next, we'll hear opening words from Stephanie Segala, who is the leader of the Good Deeds team.
Hello, everybody. My job today is a simple one. My assignment is to say thank you. And also not to take too long about it because actually we've got a lot more work to do downstairs. But I'm not just gonna say, well, thank you, and then start cracking the whip and making you go down and do more work. I have some ideas about the day of service. Before that big hook comes and drags me off, I wanna share some ideas with you. One thought is to encourage you to think about the time and energy that goes into a service day like today. Just gathering and organizing the materials that go into the 7,000 contraceptive kits that we've done this year is a staggering task. We have helped 7,000 people become responsible parents, and I'm so glad we do this project. It is really meaningful to me. Second, as a gardener, I know the challenges and heartaches of honeysuckle removal. Please salute the strong clipper wielders who keep our jungle under control. It's not easy. And I can't leave out the window washers who make our foyer look so sparkly. It's not sparkly today, but on a nice day, those clean windows are really a delight. And finally, the folks who are helping the unfortunate, the unhoused, survive another winter. It all takes time and energy, and you have stepped up. Another thought. Our ethical theme this season is the power of us. Crystal mentioned that. Today we see what we can accomplish in a few hours and how fun it is to be working together. So why not brag on it a little bit? I get it. You are virtuous, self-effacing folks who only want to make the world a better place. But today you can be loud and proud. If you want to, turn to your neighbor and say, "I stuffed condoms today." Another final idea about the day of service. We live in difficult times. The blue meanies are really in charge of most of the world now. Thus, each positive action, each show of compassion, each generous act, no matter how small, is a wedge against the darkness. In a world of increasing cruelty, what we do every day is a force for good. In every honeysuckle branch, contraceptive kit, and shiny window is a testament that we of kind hearts and conscientious action will prevail. So get out there, do more, and do more after that. And when you do, be proud. You make a difference. And finally, thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie, both for leading the Good Deeds team, but here for grounding us in the reasons why we serve others. This morning, our music director, Mike Engelhardt, will lead us in an original tune, The Power of Us All. Please welcome Mike.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi. So a few weeks ago, I introduced this song, and it's a sing-along. So, feel free to sing along. If sing-alongs are not your thing, that's okay. Just bear with us, and you can just imagine like you're being serenaded by 50 to 100 of your closest friends for a moment. We're just going to sing this tune again, and I added a verse this time. So when we get there, I'll teach it to you, okay? So we'll just start with the part that we know. So it goes, the power of us all, the power of us all, the power of us all. Sing that with me. Good and strong this morning. The power of us all. The power of us all, the power of us all. Good, here's the new part, all right? You can listen to me sing it once. One to another, helping each other, working together for good. All are invited, our powers united, working together for good. Try that. One to another. One to another, helping each other, working together for good. All are invited, our powers united, working together for good. Back to the chorus now. The power of us all, the power of us all, the power of us all. Good, let's do that verse one more time. One to another, one to another, helping each other, working together for good. All are united, our powers united, working together for good. Sing the power. The power of us all, the power of us all, the power of a song. Good job, everybody. Give yourselves a hand this morning.
Thank you, Mike. And thank you all. You sound beautiful. All right. Stephanie has made it very clear that if I don't go quickly, I'll also get pulled off the stage. So let's get going for our main event. If you were here earlier this morning, you may have already been encouraged to participate in service. We have a few projects that started earlier, and they will continue for this next 45 minutes. They are not stained glass window cleaning, because that has already been done. And kudos to Kit Rogers and those volunteers. Honeysuckle abatement with Josh and Lindsay Nissenbaum. Those volunteers are still out there with their muddy shoes. If you want to join them and go to town against all the greenery out there, we encourage you to head out to the Ethical Woods, which are down the stairway and out the back. We're going to continue packing more emergency contraceptive kits to benefit Beacon Reproductive Health Network. That will be downstairs in the Becker Room. And we're going to continue packing trauma kits to benefit Power for STL. I want to specifically honor both Katie Morgan as a representative for Power for STL and then Mary, who came in from Beacon earlier today. All of those projects that are listed on the right-hand side are active projects. So if you're going down, know that you'll be expected to do some movement involved. And then we have some other projects that will be happening that are starting for this round. So you could pack warming kits in behalf of Atheist Alliance Helping the Homeless, and kudos to Philip, who is here from Atheist Alliance. That partnership and effort will happen down in the Hanky Room, which is down these stairs. You can also write caring cards to members of the Ethical Society. That effort's being led by the caring team, and the fastest way to get to there would be to take these stairs down, and it'll lead you to the hallway where they are stationed. And we're going to offer through Respect Missouri Voters and Tony Easter the opportunity to learn how to collect signatures and canvass and petition our local constituents. You can stay here in the auditorium for that opportunity. And we're going to need a few volunteers to head to the boardroom, which is down this hallway here. And you're going to get to put candles inside of the Good Cheer batteries inside of the Good Cheer candles. So to summarize, we have 8 different opportunities available. The one that I haven't mentioned is photographer. And that is everyone that has a phone and wants to take photos. You are welcome to join in anywhere you would like and take photos and tag the Ethical Society and that representative nonprofit if you're in a space to partner with them. We have a statement about honeysuckle. Can it be very fast?
Very fast. Sorry, I battle honeysuckle at home like crazy. I can't stand the sight of it. But one thing I want to pass along, if you're working on a honeysuckle today, keep safety in mind. Because when you're yanking on a branch, you don't see where the other end of it's going. It might end up in somebody's face, okay? So please be careful if you're working on honeysuckle. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. So what you'll see up here on the screen is, again, the various projects that are happening, the lead volunteer of that project and its location. When you get to your designated volunteer spot, the lead volunteer will give you clarifying instructions and will encourage you to introduce yourself to the person nearby so that you have an opportunity to make connections and make more friends while also making a difference. If you are a young person today, you get to volunteer with your family. Ooh, ah. And if you have not yet found your family in this room, let's go ahead right now and make certain that our youngest partners and volunteers get partnered up with their adults. So we're going to give them 2 minutes to get situated. If you are an adult who brought a small person, can we do that matchmaking and help them out? While our young folks are maneuvering, are you mentally figuring out which project you want to be yours? I hope so. Okay. I'm going to invite my lead volunteers to go ahead and dismiss down to locations at this time so you can be in position. And I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in today to volunteer as a part of the Ethical Society community. Pick your favorite spot. Let's get to work. Have a great day.
Thank you. Yeah. Sass is just handling my visual aids. Wow, that light shines directly in my eyes. That's new, I think. There you go. I can't see my screen. I sure don't mind. Yeah. Okay. No, thank you. It's good. Oh, golly. Thank you. Do you think the people in the back?
All right, we're going to get started. If those in the back row want to come up a little bit, that would be, you're totally welcome to.
We also have petition assembly happening in the back. Thank you, ladies. All right. I'll go ahead and get started. I have Sass with me today to do my visual aids. And thank you for inviting us here. My name is Tony Easter. I am a volunteer and a co-founder of Respect Missouri Voters Coalition, which is a grassroots, cross-partisan, volunteer-led organization to protect the citizen initiative from being taken away from us. And let's see. In 2013, I had a garden party to promote Clean Missouri, and I was really, really proud when it won. And the next year, the legislature put it back on the ballot with tricky language, and we voted to overturn it when we had passed it by more than 60%. So that was a little heartbreaking that that could actually happen. And then last year, I collected 878 signatures for reproductive rights, And the legislature has already put a new ban on the ballot for next year. So that's what led me here, and it's the people versus politicians. It's sad when the people who we pay to represent us are actively considering us their adversaries. So, yes, we are here because Missouri politicians are overturning the will of the people to destroy the citizen initiative process. The legislature has actually overturned 7 initiatives in just the last 16 years. And this year, they've been more brazen than ever, gutting sick leave, new minimum wage increases, putting abortion back on the ballot, and passing new gerrymandered maps. The only way to address this and other issues is long-term is by passing Respect Missouri voters. Here are the details. Forward. Here we go. The details of how Respect Missouri voters would protect the will of the people going forward. Our constitutional amendment would prevent the legislature from changing anything passed by initiative petition unless 80%, a bipartisan supermajority in the House and the Senate, voted to return it to a vote of the people. It would ban the legislature from making initiative petitions harder to use, whether it's when you're collecting signatures or at the ballot box. And it would impose stricter language rules requiring it to be clear, unbiased, fair, accurate, and easy to understand, and it restores the power of the courts to rewrite bad ballot language, which was taken away this year with SB 22. Let's see. A couple of things that it doesn't do is our amendment does not limit what initiatives can do, and it does not protect anything put on the ballot by the legislature. Respect Missouri Voters is happy to be endorsed by the Post-Dispatch, and we are proud of our strong partnerships, many based on long-term relationships. And this is some of our partners. So we've covered the why of what got me here, but now we're going to talk about how to gather signatures for an initiative petition. It also helps you understand when you're signing a petition what is actually on that page. So to qualify for gathering signatures, you must be 18 years old. You cannot offer money or anything of value to anyone for signing a petition, and you cannot have been convicted of forgery. Those sound like reasonable rules, huh? So, each clipboard is going to contain, this is where your visual aids come in, a petition board, which we use old political signs. They weigh less than an actual clipboard, so that helps you to carry several, which can be a good thing to do. The petition board, the do's and don'ts sheet, and a color-coded sample ballot that helps you with what goes where, and petitions, obviously the most important piece. So the do's and don'ts sheet is a reference guide. It tells you what you should and should not be doing when gathering signatures, the proper spelling of each county, because you could be gathering for all over the state, places you've never heard of before, and and a QR code to a page on our website that lists the volunteer sign-up link and a donation link, a link to the petition language, and a way to collect voter registration status, way to check voter registration status from the Secretary of State. Also, you would get a lanyard from us that has our website information on one side, and the other side has a direct link to the Missouri Secretary of State's voter registration page, where someone can scan this QR code, they can step aside, and on their phone, they can register to vote right then and there, and then they can come back and sign. They're legally able to sign the petition. And that feels super bonus when you can register a voter. But also if someone doesn't know what address they're registered to vote at, maybe they want to update their voter registration because they've moved twice since the last time they did a change of address, that can all happen on the Secretary of State's voter registration website. So, collecting valid signatures. Politicians in Jeff City do not respect our votes and have tried multiple times to gut the initiative petition process. We know that our signatures, when turned in, will be heavily scrutinized. So we got to go out of our way to make sure we get it right. Even if you have gathered signatures before, you want to pay close attention. I always appreciate when I get retrained because it's like there's something I'm going to forget. An initiative petition is a legal document. As a circulator, you are responsible for the accuracy of the signatures you gather. So, looking at the color-coded sample petition, teal sections can be filled in ahead of time. These teal sections are for the county the signers are from, and you should fill in the upper right-hand corner before you begin gathering signatures on any page. It's important to note that each petition sheet is for one county where people are registered to vote. So if another person comes along and they're from a different county, you've got to get out another sheet. And it's okay to use as many sheets as you need to use because you don't want to miss that person who's come a long way to have the opportunity to sign. Because probably the less obvious their county is, the more important their signature is going to be because it's easiest to gather in St. Louis because we're all close together. Let's see. If someone wants to sign, let's see. Probably the most important thing for this group's labeling is labeling sheets as St. Louis City and St. Louis County. Because a lot of people don't know that there's a difference between the two. They're like, yeah, I live in St. Louis. But those signatures have to be on two separate sheets. So if we just say St. Louis for St. Louis County, people from the city will be like, yeah, St. Louis, that's me, and they'll sign the wrong sheet. And then half of those signatures won't count. Let's see, dark blue or purple, however you see, it looks kind of purple to me. This is where the signature goes. The voter must sign their own signature. The next section, yellow, is where they fill in the date, the registered voting address, their zip code, and their printed name. The voter will usually fill this in themselves, but if they are unable, you may fill that in for them, or the person who's with them may fill it in for them. There's a fair number of people with tremors. It makes it challenging. Let's see, the red section, leave this blank until notary events. And that especially means that box that SAS is pointing to there. It's really important to leave that one blank because that's the county where your petitions are getting notarized. That's not the county you're gathering for, which goes in like 4 other spaces. And it's counterintuitive, and that's how it's designed, to be tricky. Let's see. So then the gray section, you don't fill that in at all. That is just for the notary. And all the red sections you will fill out in front of the notary who's validating, who's certifying your petition sheets. So filling out the sheet correctly, a petition can, again, only have signatures of people who are registered to vote for the same county. Signatures of voters from counties other than the one designated on that petition will not be counted. And that makes us cry. Before someone signs the petition, make sure the county is written in the upper right-hand section labeled county. So that's the most important thing to fill out on the sheet before anyone signs it. Put the county there so you don't start getting people crossing over. Then Write your name in the teal section labeled your legal name, but you don't fill out the county next to it, just your name, because each petition sheet does belong to one individual gatherer. You shouldn't be swapping sheets that have been started with other people.
Including your spouse.
Use black ink. Specific color is required on the petitions to be valid. Carry lots of pens and carry only black pens. If you have one blue pen at the very bottom of your bag, you're going to find it in a crisis, you're going to be in a hurry, a pen dies, you're going to pull out that blue pen, and then there they are. So don't even carry blue pens. Walk every voter through every step of signing. Every voter, every time. What county are you registered to vote in? Their signature should be as it is on their voter registration. Now, each county has an assortment of signatures for every person, so they're going to look through all of their resources to match it up. But your signature should be your signature. A person's signature does not have to be readable. Your signature is your mark. For some people, their signature may be an X if they don't write. They have a particular way that they make their mark, and that's what's important. Then the date, including the year, month, day, year. And you tell the person what the date is, because most of us don't know what date it is. And they'll put a day 2 days earlier after someone already signed the right date. Then their registered voting address, including the city that they live in. And that needs to be spelled out. So not STL or KC or, whatever abbreviations, spelled out city. Then their zip code, which has its own little section. And we leave the congressional district blank. That can be filled in later, and it's not a legal requirement for the petitions to count. Then next comes their printed name, the way it appears on their voter registration. So, in a perfect world, if they weren't sure if they had their initial on their voter registration, they could look it up on the Secretary of State's website and find out for sure. But when you're moving really fast, but in a perfect world, they want it to match their voter registration.
In general, though, more information is better.
That's true. That's true. If they're not sure, include more. As they begin to sign, tell them what each section is. Sometimes people get confused and will put their date of birth in the date box. So, you saying the specific information will increase the chances that they fill it out correctly. Some quick tips. Talk to everyone. People sign because you ask them to sign. The more people you ask, the more signatures you will get. Remain respectful when people don't want to sign. Excuse me. Disengage quickly and say, thank you for your time. And anytime somebody signs, thank you for your time. Thank you for your signature. Smile and be approachable. Smiling and making eye contact with someone, like they almost can't turn away if you make eye contact. And then they'll come and hear what you have to say, and you want to have your greeting prepared. You want to know beforehand what you're going to say to people, and know that the first time you go out there, you're going to mess up. You're going to flub whatever you say, and people are going to be like, huh? And then you'll be like, oh, that's over. Now I've done that. I can move forward. It'll all be better. And carry multiple boards for large events. I like to always carry multiple boards because if you have two people who are together come up to you, generally they'll live in the same county, you want to have a board for each of them to sign so that then together they can move away, especially if you're in a really busy location like in front of Fox Theater the hour before a show starts. It's really easy to do in situations like that, especially concerts. The pageant is a great spot if you're on the sidewalk toward the back. So having multiple clipboards is not as challenging with these kinds of boards because they don't weigh very much. And I'm also having the boards assembled with petitions on the front and the back. So you want to have your two most popular locations back to back with each other. So St. Louis City, St. Louis County, whatever, depending on where you are. Your messaging is very important when you approach people, because you don't have a lot of time to get people's attention. So keep it politically neutral. Don't say, you know, are we mad that they're about to take away reproductive rights? Because you don't know what people believe, and this really is a universal thing. Protecting the initiative petition that we've had for 117 years. And it affects everybody in the state, but it also affects the party that's in minority, whoever that is at the time. So these particular phrases have polled very well for us and are strongly recommended as you approach folks to sign. Want to ban politicians from overturning what we already voted for? That really works great. People tend to be like, yeah, where do I sign? Want to ban politicians from overturning the will of Missouri voters? Want to ban politicians from tricking voters with confusing ballot language? That's my favorite second line, if people act like they want to hear more. So the next step is to take our field quiz. So everybody maybe wants to get out your phone. And the simplest way to do this is to open the camera on your phone and point it at the QR code on the screen. And after a few seconds, a link should pop up, and you tap on that link, which on an iPhone, it's a yellow box. Alternatively, you can just type in the URL, the website respectvoters.org/register. And the first page is going to be registering to create your field ID. So each person will have a number that identifies them specifically in our system that is going to track the signatures you've collected. It's really cool to be able to see how many you've collected. And SAS is part of the team that's designing that system. Okay. So.
Can I just say a note on that?
Yeah.
So we haven't built the tool into the exact registration form yet. Do not use Team 98 when it asks for the team number at the end. We do have a tool where you put in your county and zip code. It'll tell you what team number you're supposed to be. So if y'all want to tell me what your zip code is, I can just search it for you real quick and tell you what your team number is.
But we do have up here, St. Louis County is 94, and St. Louis City is 97. So if you're anything else.
Yes, we ideally want to get you something more specific than just the city or county, but yeah.
You're prepared to deal. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So I'm going to come around real quick.
Great. Well, then you can go to respectvoters.org. Cool? Oh, because this is a, yeah, okay. So when you finish filling out your information, it will go to the quiz. And when you take the quiz,